Yes!
At the time this video was going live, Destiny 2 has been out for a year and a half, and we've had many exotic weapons and armor from Destiny 1 return. Fan favorites such as the Last Word, Thorn, and Suros Regime have found their way into Destiny 2, but I couldn't help but notice how many people want this weapon to return as well. Now, if you aren't familiar with this weapon, this is a Destiny 1 exotic pulse rifle known as the Bad Juju. Destiny 1 didn't categorize weapons by RPM like Destiny 2 does, but if Bad Juju was in Destiny 2, it would be in the 450 RPM family of pulse rifles, similar to the likes of the Nightshade and the Chattering Bone. Now, if you take a look at the annual pass roadmap for Season 6, it's stated that there would be 2 exotic quests that we'll have access to during this season. Now, everyone is fully aware that the exotic quest that requires the annual pass is the Thorn, since the majority of the player base has obtained this weapon by now. But there's been a lot of speculation of what the free exotic quest weapon could be. I said free in reference to this mystery weapon not requiring the annual pass to be obtained. I've heard many people speculate that this weapon could be the Hawk Moon, or Rose, which is what the Thorn was known as before it was corrupted, or the Bad Juju. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm one of those people who believe that the second exotic quest weapon will give us the Bad Juju for multiple reasons. First off, I couldn't help but notice how much emphasis Bungie has put on Toland the Shattered in the Dreaming City. And if you aren't aware of who this individual is, I'll explain who he is and his relevancy to this topic momentarily. We don't actually get to meet Toland in his human form, but the first time we meet him, he appears as a glowing ball of light along the way of unlocking the Dreaming City. This same glowing ball of light appears in the Dreaming City's Ascendant challenges, and when you follow it, it'll talk to you and give you some interesting monologue. For those of you that don't know, Toland the Shattered was a human warlock whose obsession of the Hive drove him so crazy that he eventually left the last city in exile. It's been stated that Toland the Shattered created the Bad Juju, and the fact that Toland has more relevancy in Destiny 2 than he did in Destiny 1, I can't help but to think that the Bad Juju has a high chance of returning. As stated previously, there's a handful of Destiny 1 exotic weapons that have made it into Destiny 2, but a decent amount of them have returned with a purpose. Most specifically, the Thunderlord, the Thorn, the Last Word, and Ace of Spades are as powerful, if not more powerful, than their D1 versions and require a quest to be obtained. The quests with these weapons as the end reward are fairly lore abundant, and throughout these quests we learn a lot of intriguing details that probably would have taken a bit of research to figure out. If Bad Juju were to return, it would undoubtedly be a quest-based exotic weapon, and its quest might even be similar to the Toland's Legacy exotic bounty, which was the only way that Bad Juju could be obtained in Destiny 1's first year. But when the Taken King expansion released, the exotic bounties were retired, and Bad Juju alongside the 4 other exotic bounty weapons became random drops. In my opinion, Bad Juju was one of the most powerful exotic weapons ever created and has some of the best utility despite where you used it. Not only did it have the fully auto and hipfire perks, its exotic perk known as String of Curses was basically 3 perks in one. Kills with the Bad Juju would instantly refund your magazine for free, not from the ammo reserves, alongside the fact that this weapon could receive a damage boost and drastically reduce your super cooldown. The reason why I like the Bad Juju so much is because it did so much more than the conventional 1 or 2 things like most exotic weapons do. The majority of exotic weapons have their intrinsic exotic perk and a trait perk, but very few have more than that. But weapons like the Polaris Lance and Ace of Spades are fairly comparable to the Bad Juju solely due to the fact that they have about 4 or 5 perks, and to me that makes these weapons undoubtedly worthy of the title of exotic. Exotic weapons have to be unique and or one of a kind, but weapons like the Bad Juju didn't stop there and showed us that power should also be a prerequisite fulfilled by all exotic weapons instead of uniqueness alone. I mean, think about it. We're only allowed to wield 1 exotic weapon at a time, and I'm personally not going to use my exotic slot on something that is not powerful. In Destiny 2, there are a lot of instances where you'll get overwhelmed by ads, most specifically the Last Wish raid and the Black Armor's Forges. But Bad Juju's String of Curses perk would make short work of these seemingly overwhelming waves of enemies and would make this weapon a staple exotic in everyone's loadout. This would be even more apparent based on the fact that Destiny 2 doesn't have an ad clear capable primary weapon. I mean, I guess you could count the Sweet Business, but I don't know a single person who uses that thing, and Sweet Business can only achieve what the Bad Juju is inherently capable of if you're using it with a Rally Barricade or a Rift with Lunafaction boots. Even in Destiny 2's PvP, Bad Juju would be able to battle with the best of them. I wouldn't say that lightweight frame pulse rifles are the meta, but they're definitely viable and incredibly rewarding to use. Nightshade was an incredibly potent pulse rifle in year 1 of Destiny 2, and Chattering Bone was one of the most frequently occurring weapons in the Crucible when the Last Wish raid was first released. In PvP, Bad Juju's String of Curses perk gives it a lot of multi-kill potential and will probably be more viable in Destiny 2 due to how small the PvP maps are, alongside the fact that players frequently stick together. But that does it for this one, everybody. In the comment section, tell me what exotic weapons you would like to see return in Destiny 2, and if you enjoyed this video, drop me a like and subscribe to the channel for more elite gaming content. And with that being stated, 1LHD is over and out. Y'all take it easy.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.